Hello and welcome to the ultimate AVA tier list. I know, title's corny, but what else are you gonna name this video? I have made a timestamp for every single character, so you're free to do with that what you wish. You can skip to the end, but if you do skip to the end, you won't see the reasoning as to why I put the character in this tier. Second, don't leave stupid comments like why is Alucard S tier, but do leave good comments that I can reply to and pick your minds a little bit. Thirdly, there are some characters that I messed up on in the video, like Frieza I think I put too low, and Gohan I put too high, so I might change that a little bit, but any changes will be in the pinned comment. So if there's a character that you feel has been wronged, go to the comment section, either write a comment about it, or if I have updated it, look at the pinned comment. And that's all I have to say. Please do enjoy the video, like, sub, do what you want. I don't really care. I just do this for fun. Let's start with Accelerator. I am also going to base their ranking on how good they are in ones and twos, and the higher ranking will take its spot. So in ones, I think Accelerator is A+. I don't think there's anything else I could say about that. He has a good counter, good extenders, a good grab. He has a very annoying moveset to play around. And in twos, I could even argue he's S tier. Very good mode. He's just all around good, but I will put him at A+. I don't think he's S tier in both categories, so we'll put him at A+. Ace, I think, is as like C or B as can get. I mean, I would put him at C. Actually, no, we'll put him at B, because he is pretty good in twos. Like, I would say maybe A- if I were reaching, but C in one, so we'll go for B. Achilles, not bad. He's very counter based. Like if you're fighting a mode, you just pop mode and then it's all M1s based. If you're good with M1s, I would put him at A-, but I would say he's also B tier just because his mode isn't that good. And Afro Samurai, I think, is the most A tier character you can ever find. Good extender, good counter. It's like very basic but very decent. Like, he's not bad at all. He's very solid. Like, he's just the embodiment of A tier, so I'll put him at A. Aizen, I think, could be A+, but his mode is a bit the only issue is his mode. His mode isn't amazing. It's more like they pop mode, so I have to pop mode to counter their mode. It's not great. It's like a one-stock mode, if I would say so myself. So for that reason, I would put him at A and not A+. Akainu, very good in twos, mediocre in ones unless you run. I would say B in ones, A in two, so we'll go A-. Aki, I would say is solid A as well. He has a counter, good guard break, very short cooldowns. I'd even argue he's A+, but I don't think he is better than Accelerator. I just don't think he's on that level, even just because of the nerfs. Pre-nerf, he'd be S tier, but I think he's fairly balanced now, and he's fightable now that you can see where he's aiming his little thing. So you know when to counter it, when to use your moves. You know the timing at least. Akira, I'm not too big. Like I don't know the character too well, but if I had to say, maybe A tier, A-, based on fighting him. He's very solid, has good extenders, good moves to third party if we're talking twos, and in ones he's very solid. I would say very good offensive character. Even though he has no iframe or counter, I'd still put him at A, and his mode is pretty good. All Might, I would say, see, I play All Might. I love playing All Might. Very fun character. But he's just gonna have to go C tier. Alucard is S tier. I don't want to hear anything. No need to explain. That character is straight busted. Even after all the nerfs, they cannot balance him for shit. Aokiji. Aokiji, I think, very bad in ones. He's like a knockoff Todoroki. He's just not at Todoroki's level. I would say he is B tier. He's just under Akainu. Arlong. In twos, Arlong is not that good, I'll be honest. But in ones, he is very solid. You can't really have much counterplay against his combo starter unless you have hyper armor of your own or like a barrage to knock him away. It's just hard to fight. His mode is very solid. It's guaranteed one stock with his time stop. I would put him at A tier. I wouldn't say he is amazing in twos, and I think that's what's knocking him down from A+. I would put him at A+. He's just not at that level. Asta's some dog. Asta's some butt. That being said, you can make him work, but I would say he's B tier at best. His mode is decent. Asuna, very good in twos, but I don't see much usage of Asuna. I would say C tier in ones, A- in twos, so we'll settle for B. Raikage, not that much of a twos player, but he does work well in ones. I would say he's A tier in ones, maybe B in twos, but I have seen good usage of him in twos, so I would put him at A-. He's not horrible. Killer B, I would say, is B tier, but if you are good with him, you can make a case for him being A tier. His Gyuki grab and base is very good for third partying in twos, but in ones it's kind of useless unless as a combo ender. His 7-blade combo thing is very good for third partying. I find it amazing. I think he's very twos character, but in ones I wouldn't say he's that good. I would say he's like B tier in ones. Like, you can make him work, but why? Right? He doesn't have many combos. In twos he's amazing. I say I'll settle for A-. Bardock, I think I would have to settle for A+. No need to explain. If he gets low, he's doing more damage. In twos, I'd even argue he's S tier, but he is, after the nerfs, he's pretty fightable, so I would put him at A+. He's not Alucard level. Big Mom, I don't remember the last time I fought Big Mom. I'd settle for B tier, honestly. Broly, Broly I'd say is A-, just because he's very viable in both. Actually, I'd even argue A tier. He has 2 good guard breaks. He has a good extender being the rush. His counter is just very lackluster. His mode is very S tier. I would say his mode is S tier. You can, like, it's not fightable. You cannot fight Broly mode unless you have your own mode or your Aizen and you have two evasives or counters. I would say A tier just because his mode is very good, but if his mode was nerfed, I would say A- just because his counter is very, very bad. Byakuya, Byakuya I think is like the embodiment of B tier. Mode is very, very bad, I would say, and his base is okay. Caulifla, Caulifla I think is A tier, just because she's very usable in both formats, ones and twos, and she's very solid all around. Good beam, good guard break, good extender being vanish kick, good third party in the form of crush cannon and energy fist, and her mode is at least a guaranteed 1 stock mode. I don't think you can really sell Caulifla mode. you're at least guaranteed at least one stock off of it. I would say solid A tier. Chika, Chika's very solid, but the fact that she doesn't have an iframe, I would say, I would put her in both tiers, the same as in 1s and 2s. I don't think it changes. She doesn't excel in both formats. She does the same thing in both formats. So I would say A minus, just because she doesn't have, she doesn't have any getaway. Man, I do not know what I'm trying to say. She can't really get out of combos, if I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say. And her kit is very easily fightable. Like if somebody were to turtle, or if somebody had an evasive or counter, it is very, very easy to fight, because volleyball startup, and that's her only guard break, and the startup on balloon inflate as her other guard break. Just very easy to fight. If you have hyper armor, I just think A minus is good. Maybe even B. Choso, I think, Choso I'd actually put at A plus. His mode is very very good, and his base is very solid. Like in terms of bases, I think it's at it's very, very good. I'll be honest. Good damage, good extenders, just good all around. If you're talking in 2s, he's super solid. He has a lot of leeway in doing whatever he wants. Chrollo, the issue is his mode is worse than his base. For that, I would have to put him A tier. His base is very good, his guard break is very good. The fact that you have that variable where you can get any move in the game off of his book, so you never know, you might get something busted. His indoor fish makes him very annoying to fight against, just because of his zoning. His mode, as bad as I made it sound, is pretty good if you're fighting somebody with like a Builderman JDZ PC. If their PC is bad, their FPS will go down like a lot. Starkk for me is S tier 2s, no doubt about it, and I would say A tier in 1s. He is very M1 based in 1s, but in 2s he is a menace. So for that, I will have to put him A plus, just because it is in the middle, A and S. Crocodile, absolutely buns in 1s. Only works in 1s if you run with him, because he has virtually no combos. In 2s though, I would put him at A plus in 2s, but in 1s I would say he's like B, maybe even C in 1s. So I will have to settle for like A or B. I think he's not Chika level in 1s, but I would say, yeah, I would say B is fair for him. Lancer, I think very solid. I don't think you can go wrong with his kit. It's annoying to fight against, but if you do have a counter, he kind of loses. Or if you have any hyper armor into his guard break, he's very easy to fight against. A tier, I would say. I don't think he falls from A tier, maybe A minus, but the fact that he's good in 2s, like very solid, I would say A plus in 2s, but A minus in 1s, so we'll just settle for A. Deidara is the most annoying character in the game, and I will die on that hill. I would say this character is A plus. S tier in 2s, no doubt about it. This is the most runner character, most obnoxious character in the game. If you have Deidara, I despise you, even if you have max levels. If you play Deidara, I don't know, I don't even have any words for you. Deidara, I think, is S tier in 2s, probably even A in 1s, but his guard break, the bird, if you have a counter, he kinda is not that good. But the problem with him is that he's just so annoying. He can just run all game, pop bird, punch you off guard break if he can. I think Deidara is deserved of an A+, and his mode is busted. Deku A-. I don't think, yeah, I think he does what A- does in 2s and 1s. He's solid, but he's not amazing. He's very solid. Denji, Denji is a 1s character, but I've seen people make him Mork in 2s, very rare. 1s, I would say his A tier. He has a very A tier kit. In 2s, maybe B. We'll settle for A-. I think that's fair for him. Dio kind of falls under the same thing, but the only thing that makes him good in 2s is that first of all, you have Absorb, so you get free iframes off of the grab, which can be very good in certain situations. And your knife is also very good to disrupt enemy combos. Let's say your teammate's getting comboed, you can save him with your knife. I think he is pretty much, he hasn't really fallen off. I'd say his S tier in 1s, A in 2s, we'll go A+. Doppio, Diavolo, see, this is where I'm at. In 1s and 2s, he is very solid, having two iframes, high damage extender, and a way to farm mode. And his mode, I would say, is like A+ if we were comparing to all modes. I wouldn't say S tier, but he is A+ in mode. In 2s and 1s, I'd say in 2s he's A+ because he can farm mode more freely. In 1s, I would say maybe, no, actually I would say in 1s he's A because of 2 iframes. Yeah, I would put him at A. He's very solid. Madara, I'd say like C tier in 1s, but S tier in 2s. We'll settle for A-, maybe B. Very, very, actually, I'll put him at B. No, I'll put him at A. Sorry. Endeavor, I think is very solid. I think he's very solid A tier. Good guard break, solid rush. He can punish very well. His incinerate is very high damage as an extender, and you can stack your 5th M1 with it, which just makes it just even do way more damage. In 2s, I'd argue A+. In 1s, I would say A-. You could argue the fact that you could hold block and only play if he uses his guard break, but that's just boring, man. I'm not talking like, if you want to play like that, you can play like that. You can run and hold F, but he is very solid for those who want to play the game. And now, 1s wise, he's not that good. I'd say B tier in 1s. In 2s, I'd say A+ or A. I'd say A+. We'll put him at A-. I think that's a fair assessment for him. Pucci, I'm not too versed on Pucci. I don't know what most of his kit does. I know he's a 1s character, not that good in 2s. But his mode is S tier. We'll have to say that at least. I think he is A tier. I don't think he falls short of that. If you want me to say 2s and 1s, I'm not too sure because I don't play the character. Urza, I think, is also A tier. Base is very solid, has a lot of good moves. Mode is very solid. In 2s, I would say A+. But in 1s, actually no, I'd say I'm only basing it off that she doesn't have any iframes, but she's very solid. She's hard to fight against. I just say A. I think A is fair. Frieza, very good in 2s. I'd say A tier in 2s. but in one he's so bad. His mode is very good though. I'll say B. I think B is fair. If Crocodile is at B, he should be B too. Fubuki I think is just what Tatsumaki does. I'll put her at B too. Trunks, I think his mode is S tier. His mode is like at least a 3-stock mode if you know how to use it. And there's no going against it. I'd say in ones he's not bad. I would say like he's A minus B in ones. In twos he is A. We'll settle for A minus, I think that's fair. It's only that his rush flings you away. So I don't know how to assess that. Usopp. Usopp. Very runner character. Kinda like Deidara, but he just does Deidara's job better. If Deidara's an A plus and this guy has a counter so he can, I say like I'll get hate for it. But in ones he's very, actually move Deidara down 1 because I just tapped in, he's not that good in ones. And Usopp I say A minus. He is A plus in twos, no doubt about it. In ones I would be at like C or B, so we'll just go A minus. I think that's fair. Gaara, B tier. I think there's the ice dude from JoJo's. I think his added HP is what's going to break him into the A tier. Otherwise his kit is okay at best, but he is pretty good. I would say he's pretty good in both ones and twos. Gilgamesh I think is A plus. Arguable S tier for him, but is Gilgamesh S tier? No, I think he is A plus. I think A plus is fair for Gilgamesh. Gin, I think is solid A. You can't really go wrong with his kit, both in ones and twos. Again, I think his A tier flash step makes him pretty good. Shoot to kill, flame 1 guard break, so very unpredictable. And sweep being an extender, his mode, if you land shoot to kill, he at least takes 1 stock off of you, and his mode is very good with sweep being a guard break in it. So I think A or maybe even A plus. The only reason I have him at A and not A plus, actually no, in twos he's good as well. I would say A plus. I think he is A plus. Giorno, I think also A plus, just because of also the buff that he was given to mode. I think he's A plus. He's just very solid in ones, very solid in twos, but I don't think he's at that S tier level. His mode, I mean, sure, like let's go back a few years. His mode used to be the best in the game, but like with characters like Alucard, the like Wei Wuxian, the Chinese dude, the concept of not dying in mode isn't that uncommon anymore. Let's just say that. Gogeta, I think is A plus. Counter, good guard break, good extenders. Mode is arguably S tier in the right hands. I think he's A plus, but I don't think pre-nerf I would say S, but now I would say A plus. Gohan, Gohan is A plus, because I'd argue he is A in ones, S tier in twos, just because they made gut kick extend. It makes him very hard to fight in twos. Uppercut and gut kick is just annoying, and then having a beam as a finisher, very solid character, but in ones I don't think he is more than A. But you could make a case for him. I just think that uppercut is easy to trade into if you have hyper armor, and a lot of characters have hyper armor. Goku Black, I would say is A plus in twos, maybe C in ones. we'll settle for B tier. Nameku, kind of the same argument for Goku Black, but I would say he's S tier in twos, so we'll put him in A minus. Nameku, oh not Nameku, wait, no, this is Buku, this is Nameku. I'm bugging. Nameku, I think he is A plus in twos, A in ones. I think it wouldn't be crazy to say he's A tier. Kaioken into rush, he can pretty much almost one combo you off of a Kaioken rush. If you don't have a counter or a hyper armor thing to deal with rush, it's just kinda GG. His mode is not bad at all. His mode is very, very good. I think he's A. He got nerfed a lot. I would say B or A minus. I just don't think he's that good anymore. But there are people who somehow make him work, and those people will be mad because I'll put him B tier. Gon is dependent on how you play against him, because I would put Gon at A at least. His whole thing is high damage. I'd say S tier almost. I'd say A plus in twos. If you're comboing someone, they're pretty much dead if you have Gon on your team. And the fact that he can wipe somebody as soon as they're 3 stocks just makes him, and then turn it into a 2v1, makes him A plus at least, maybe even S, like arguable S in twos. In ones, he's very bad, because any hyper armor you can trade into scissors, which is his only guard break, and any counter, he's very easy to fight in ones. I would say, let's say like B tier in ones, A plus. No, let's say C tier. I think he's C tier in ones. Let's say A minus. And I will move, actually, people will hate me if I move All Might into B, but that's because they don't know how to play All Might. So we'll put him at C so people aren't mad. Gray, I think, is a very solid A tier. I think his kit is very good in both ones and twos. I say A plus in twos, A minus in ones, which will make him A. Grimmjow, I would say arguable S tier. I would say S tier in ones. He has a very strong kit in ones, very low cooldowns, a very good mode, very difficult to fight if you don't have a counter or evasive. Not even hyper armor can get you out of this one. I would say A plus in twos, just because of his counter. I don't know. I don't know if he is S tier level, just because his mode isn't insane, right? His mode isn't like guaranteed stocks, but it is very good. I'll say A plus. Like, his mode isn't Alucard level or like Accelerator level, but his base is S tier, no doubt about it. Guts is just B. Maybe argue. No, I wouldn't say C tier. Very solid in ones, very okay in twos. I wouldn't pick him in twos ever unless I was selling. Hercule, I would say B as well. I don't wanna go into it because I don't know the character that much. Hiei got nerfed so bad. Hiei, I'd still say is like A tier in ones. I mean in twos, but very bad in ones just because of the nerf to behind you. And after image, he only has one extender, which is his consistent guard break. So I'll put him at, and his mode is, man, they gutted him. They actually gutted him. I'll put him at B. Hisoka, I would say, is S tier in twos. In ones, I think he's A tier. We'll go A plus. I think he is A plus. Hisoka is very solid, and the fact that he's a pedophile does not make him look good for whoever means him. Hol Horse, very runner character, I would say A minus. In between B and A. He's okay. I don't think he's that good, but he's not that bad. I don't think there's anything that sets him out. We'll go for A minus. Hollow Ichigo, I'd say is A plus in ones, but just because of impact slashes. Impact slashes is very good as a combo starter. Getsuga doing 40 damage as a finisher. I mean, you have, like, as a combo, you go into 2, ladder into 1, and then Getsuga. It's just a lot of damage. And he can get that very free. His mode is very, very good if you know how to up tilt into your 2. So I think he is A plus. He is A plus. I wouldn't take it from him. I think he's A plus in both ones and twos. Arguable A tier. No, A tier. A tier. A tier. A tier. Ichigo, embodiment of an A tier character. Illumi, I think, is A plus in ones. Very solid and actually no, I'd say A tier in ones. In twos, he's very bad. I would say in twos he's C tier. I say A minus. A minus is fair assessment for him. If Madara is in A minus, then he. Actually no, Madara goes in B tier. Madara does go in B tier. I'd say he's A plus and not S tier in twos. Ilya, this is the most annoying character to ever go against. It's just so annoying to fight. I really don't like this character, but in twos, I would say arguable S tier, because if you run with Ilya, I mean, first of all, you are the worst human on planet Earth if you run with Ilya. Nobody likes that shit. And you are worse than Hisoka main. You are worse than the pedophiles that play Hisoka. Ilya, maybe A plus if you run with her. If you for some reason M1 with Ilya, I'd say you A tier. I think A tier is fair for Ilya, even though her base is dog shit. It's just the character is just annoying to fight against. Like very, very annoying to fight against because we all know if you're playing Ilya, you're running with her, you are not engaging. Ishtar, I would say C tier in ones. No, actually no, B tier in ones. A plus and twos will go for A as well. Ishtar is very solid, very annoying to fight. What is that Jinbei picture? This I would say is C tier in ones. A in twos. We'll go with B. I think B is a scandal. Itachi. Itachi, A minus, I think is fair for him. I think A minus is fair. I'm looking at all the characters in A minus and I would put them on Itachi's level. Yeah, I don't think he's as good as the characters in A tier. We'll put him at A minus. I think he's very solid. Jinbei. I could not name you one move from his moveset. I've gone against 2 Jinbei players in my whole life, maybe 3. So for that, I will put him at B tier based on the fights that I've had against Jinbeis. He's not that good, and his mode is lackluster. Jolene is, I would say, A tier in ones, has a very A tier moveset. Mode isn't that great. Twos, I would say, is like maybe B tier. We'll go for A minus. I think she belongs in the A minus tier, looking at the characters. Jonathan, very solid in ones. Very solid in ones. I would say A tier in ones. He's very good in ones, but he lacks in twos. But I would say A minus. I think it's solid. Now this is a character I love playing. I would say he's A plus in ones due to his hyper armor and the fact that not a lot of people know how to play against him. Actually, no. Yeah, in ones I would put him that high. Like, this is very arguable, but I think in ones for most he would be at A. In twos, he's not that great. I think he does belong in A minus. If Jonathan is in A minus, Joseph is as well. Now Josuke. Josuke I think is A. I don't think there's much arguing about it. I think he's A in both 1s and 2s. Very solid. Jotaro is S tier. The character has not fallen off S tier since release. This character needs to be nerfed. I'm so done. In 1s, I would argue S plus. This is the best character in the game in 1s. In 2s, you can make him work. Like, he's not bad at all in 2s. His mode is guaranteed at least 1 Starkk. You can get 3 if you're good with him. Like, come on. S tier. I don't want to hear any bickering in the comments. Kakashi. Kakashi, I don't know. B tier. B tier, I do know. Cars, I think, is another one of our S tiers. For one reason, and one reason only. You cannot punish anything in his base. He is free to press 1, 2, 3, 4, run away, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you cannot do anything to punish it because he has no end lag on any of his moves if he misses. And I think that is a nerf that will come soon. His mode is not fightable. He can one-shot you off of his little flying thing, and I think that's bullshit. Cars is S tier, whether you like it or not. Katsuki Bakugo, I think, is A tier in both 1s and 2s. Very solid character. Kazuma. I think Kazuma is A plus in 2s. A minus in 1s. I think he goes in A tier. I think he goes in A tier. He's very annoying to fight. Kenpachi is solid in 1s. I'd say A tier in 1s. Where's Broly actually? I think he's same tier as Broly. I think he's A. Yeah, he has that same issue where his mode is very, very good, but his base counter is very dog. Very close range character, very aggressive. I'd say A tier is deserved. Killua, I would put at A tier. I think he's A tier in both 1s and 2s. He has a very solid kit, very good mode. Yeah, A tier I think is fair. Kirito, I think is also A tier. Excuse me if I sound like a broken record, but I think he's A tier in both 1s and 2s. Arguable A plus in 2s. Yeah, I think is A. Kiritsugu, I would put at A plus. Arguable S tier. I think he's an S tier 1s character, and I think he's A plus in 2s. Just because his moves are very annoying. I mean, rapid fire is good for what's it called? For third party. Contender is the most annoying move in game. That disable. His evasive is one of the best in game, and S tier mode. Yeah, I think it's very hard to argue S tier for him in terms of 1s. But in 2s, he does kind of fall short unless people run with him. You know, things happen. I think he's A plus. Arguable S tier. He is arguable S tier. Kisame. Kisame is S tier in 2s. But in 1s, he's not crazy good. He's not as good as he is in 2s. The only reason I say S tier in 2s is based on his water clones. I mean, they can catch you off guard. You might be getting comboed. He gets mowed very fast, and the moment he modes, just know it's over. But he doesn't have that same thing in 1s. I think he's A in 1s, but his S tier in 2s is what lands him at A plus. Kisuke, I think embodiment of an A tier character. Kizaru, C tier in 1s. I'd say, like, as much as he is made for 2s, he's not that good. He is not that good. But I will say A tier on 2s. I'll just put him at B tier. I think B tier is fair. Kokushibo. Kokushibo, I haven't fought many of them, and I'm not too sure on what his moves are. I can't name you one move from his kit. Maybe I would say, based on the people that I fought, I'd say B tier is fair. I don't think he's that great in ones. I should move him up A minus, because I'd say he's A tier in twos. He has a third party kit. I'll just say that. Chulainn, I would say A tier. I don't think this is really arguable. Good guard breaks, good extenders. One of the fastest one combos in the game. If he lands in a one on you, it's over. Solar Flare can come very handy in twos. Mode is very solid. Can't really argue against it. Kyojuro Rengoku, I think he's A minus. Yeah, he falls in with these characters. I don't think it's that much of a debate. Lemillion, I'd say he's very good in twos. No, I wouldn't say that. No, not at all. B tier. BTS Luffy. BTS Luffy, A minus is fair. His mode is very lackluster. But not that good of a mod. Especially if you have an iframe, an evasive, a guard break, any hyper armor move. His mode is so easily counterable. His base is easily fightable in ones. The only reason he's this high up is because of how good Rocket is and Pistol are in twos. So we'll put him at A minus. TS Luffy, I put him at B tier in ones, but arguable A plus A in twos. I think he falls in with his brother in A minus. This is a very ones character. I don't even know her name. I'd say A in ones. B. I think B is fair. Actually, no. In ones, she's good. She's very good in ones. Mash. What do we say about Mash? I think Mash is a solid A tier in both ones and twos. Yeah, looking at the list that I have in A, I think she falls in here. No, she's A minus. She's A minus. No, she's A. She's A. Oh, Might Guy. S tier mode, if he gets it. Base is okay, but his base is constantly changing. Primary Lotus is horrible. They need to buff the hitbox on that. Actually, don't buff Might Guy. I think Might Guy is A in both formats, I think his mode is what heavily carries him. Minato, B, arguable C tier. His mode might be the worst mode. I don't know how you make Minato work. In ones, he's okay. We'll just move him up. We'll move him up to B tier. Misaka, I think is A plus. S tier in twos. At least A tier in ones. I think it's very fair to say A plus. Mob, another B tier character. His mode, if he gets it, it's over for you. But if you are letting a mob get mode, I don't know what to say. Nanami, I think is a solid. I think he's A minus. But his mode is S tier. It's one of those S tier modes. But the reason why I say A minus is any hyper armor, any counter, just spells the end of Nanami. Because you know when he's going to use his moves, and he TPs right in front of you. So let's take like Panther combo for example, or let's say like Grunja hard counters him. But let's just say he uses his guard break, you pop either one and you get a free combo. That's my argument for him being A minus. Could be A. Naruto, PTS, B tier. Natsu, I think A tier in both ones and twos. Neji, I'd say is A in ones. Not that good in twos. I'd say B tier in twos, so we'll go in the middle for A minus. Ogun, A minus. Not too good. I don't know his kit too much, but his mode is not amazing. He is pretty good in 2s though. He's good in 2s. I would say he's A in 2s. A minus seems like a good fit for him. I say A minus in both 1s and 2s. Okuyasu is very 1s, but his barrage can make him a 2s character, and his erasure can make him work very good. I'd say A minus. A minus is fair. We all thought that this character would be broken, but he's actually fairly balanced. We'll go A minus with him. Old Joseph, A tier and 1s. B tier, arguable. A minus is fair. Pain, A minus. No, I'll say B. Because he is, I think he is C tier in 1s, but B tier in, or not B tier. I'd say A minus in 2s, C tier in 1s, makes him B. Cell, I think, is a very solid A tier. No need to go too much into it. Piccolo, I think, is a S tier in 2s. His whole kit is just made for 2s, but we bring him into 1s and he is so dog. I think A minus is fair for him. Power. 1's character could be can work in 2s. Yeah, I think so. I think she's A. Pui, I think is A tier. No, his mode is pretty good if you stack 2 and 4. A minus, I think. I think A minus in both. Is this Ragnar? Yes, it is Ragnar. How many? Oh my god, we got so many more characters left. Ragnar. What do we do with Ragnar? Ragnar's solid A. He has a good counter, good base with 2 extenders, a good guard break, insta-kill when you're low, way to farm mode. I think he's in the A plus S tier range in 2s, just because he can farm mode and he has the slash move is very good for third partying, and his mode is undoubtedly S tier. So we'll put him at A. I think A is very fair for him. Rika, embodiment of a B tier character. Risotto is kind of a pickle, because I've seen so many people suck using him, but I've seen so many good players with Risotto. It's kind of like a skill gap. I'll put him at A tier. I think A is very fair. Mob's brother, I have no clue. I can't name you one move from his kit. We'll go B tier just because he is Mob version 2. Rob Lucci, very underrated character. I'll say that. He's very solid in 1s, and he's pretty decent in 2s, just because of his evasive and a counter, good extender. Yeah, I would say A is fair. I wouldn't say A plus. You'd have to be very good with him for him to be on A plus level. Speedwagon, A plus. Is he A plus? Yeah, he is A plus. The reason I say this, in 1s, it's kind of really hard to unone him, because he has hyper armor and the sledgehammer. He has that 35 damaging move. Like, it's very hard to go up and M1 him. His hat throw makes him very solid in 2s, and so does his 35 damage swing. His mode is very solid, and I would say very good in 2s. I would say S tier in 2s based off of his hat throw, because in base you can't hit them while they're in the hat throw animation, but in mode you can. So his mode is very good in 2s. I'd say A plus is very fair for him. Rock Lee, Rock Lee is A in ones, B in twos. I think looking at the characters in A minus, I think he falls with them. If Neji is in A minus, I would put Rock Lee there as well. Rukia. I don't know. Rukia is A minus. Rukia is not great, not amazing, but she is very solid because she has an evasive. If she didn't have an evasive, I'd put her at B tier. Ryuko, I think, is kind of the same argument for Afro Samurai, is that she is very A tier. Like, her kit is very A tier, her mode is not insanely good, but if she lands one move in her mode, just know it's kind of over. But it's very easily fightable. Her mode is super easily fightable. Her base is very good. Low cooldowns, good guard break, good extenders, and an iframe. A tier. Very good. Saber, I'd also put in A tier. She has a lot of variety. Can work in ones and twos. I think more A minus in twos and more A in ones. We'll just put her at A. I think Saber is very solid. Saitama. Now Saitama is one of my favorite characters to play. He has a 4-stock mode with the after image TP up tilt. So he has a 4-stock mode. His base is very good. I would argue A plus. Yeah, I would say he's A plus. He has a 1 combo in base, which is not hard at all to land. So that makes him off the bat pretty good in ones. He kinda gets hard countered by any ranged characters or any characters with a counter, because his guard break is very easy to predict, but its hitbox is nuts. Very free combo starter. His grab is high damage, like 25 damage. You can stack your 5th in 1, making it a very good extender. His mode is amazing. Yeah, A plus is deserved. TS Sanji, I think, is B tier. A minus in twos. No, A minus. No, he's not B tier. He's not ace level. Wait, no, is this PTS? PTS, I think. No, yeah, this is PTS. Oh my god. PTS, I think, is A. In ones, B tier in twos, we'll go A minus, and I think, based on what I said for TS Sanji, also A minus. B tier. TS Sasuke, I'd argue A plus in ones. His base is very solid. No, I'd say A tier. A tier is very, very fair for him. I think, yeah, A is very good for him. War Arc Sasuke. See, I fought people that are very good with War Arc Sasuke, but I've also fought very bad people with War Arc Sasuke. I think he's A tier. His mode is insanely good. His base, you have to know how to play him. You have to know how to play his base, but his mode is very, very, very good. I think we'll put him at A tier. Gojo. Man, oh man. Bring back Gojo. This guy is shit, man. This guy is absolutely shit. If you somehow make Gojo work, props to you. Oh my god. My god. And also, if you've been this far into the video and you're realizing why there aren't any characters in C or D, because this isn't a ones or twos tier list. I'm basing it off both of their ranks. So they have to be both C and ones and twos. So that's why you don't see any characters in D tier or C tier. It's mostly B and up. Because I don't think any of these characters could be that bad. But we will do some arranging. Satsuki. Satsuki. I think she will fall in the same tier Ryuko does. Both are kind of the same character. Ryuko just is slightly better. Very solid character. Shadow Dio, I would say S tier in ones, but where would I put him in twos? A minus in twos falls into A tier. That is fair. Now Shanks. Shanks is very solid. The fact that he has an evasive makes him A tier for me at least. Shinji, B tier. I don't think he goes that much higher. What's his name? Shiro, very solid ones character. I'll say that. I'd put him at A tier in ones. I think he's A tier in both ones and twos. His blade throwing just hurts. It hurts a lot, and he has an iframe. His mode is very hard to fight against. Very hard to fight against. A good Shiro is very hard to fight against. Shisui is good in twos. He has a good base. His mode is a downgrade, which will make me have to put him in B tier. Todoroki. A. He's A plus in twos. A minus in A in ones. No, I think he's A in both ones and twos. That's fair. Shansui I think is one of our A plus candidates, but I don't think he's quite there. No, that's hard to say. If I have Hisoka up here, he has to be up here. Shansui is very solid. I think we will get a reward for him pretty soon. Or at least I hope so. Yeah. Ghetto, B tier. I don't think I need to go much into that. Sinon, B tier? No, she's very good in twos. I'll go A minus. Sukuna, if you get a big map, Sukuna is one of the best characters in the game. One of the best runner characters actually. But if you are somebody with honor, somebody that wants to have fun, I think he's solid at A tier. I think he falls in with most of these. Would I put him at A plus? No, not after the nerfs. Yeah, A for him after the nerfs. Arguable A plus S tier pre-nerf, so we'll put him there. Sung Jin Woo, almost sounded racist, but that is his name. Sung Jin Woo. I think he is A plus, maybe even S tier in ones. In twos, he kind of falls short because he has a ones kit. I think we'll go in the middle and meet at A plus. Very good character. Tanjiro. A. I think he's A. I think he's A plus in ones. If I had to say so myself, he has 2 extenders, very solid finishers, very good guard break, S tier mode. Yeah, I don't think we can argue the A placement for him. Tatsumaki, where did I put Fubuki? Is she in A minus? Or is she in B? I don't know. I'm not too good with Fubuki or Tatsumaki. I don't know how much they've been nerfed. They are decent in twos, very bad in ones. B is fair. Tengen is A minus. Ida, B tier, just because he sucks in twos. I'd say A in ones, and B, no, maybe C tier in twos. He is very bad at twos, and his mode is not that great. Yeah, B tier is fair. Toby, I'd say is also B tier. Maybe even C because he doesn't even have a mode. Todo, look. Todo is easy A plus, and one of the contenders for S tier. But just because he has such a high ceiling, people can make him S tier. His high ceiling is like if you're good with Todo, he is S tier. But I will come down a bit because a lot of us suck with Totem because we can't be asked to learn how to play him, and I'll come down to A+. But S tier in 1s, I will say that, and even in 2s if you are that good with him, but we will go into A+. But I'm just saying I personally think he's S tier. But to please you guys, I'll say A+. Oma, I think, is an A+ in 1s, and in 2s he's like C tier, so we'll meet in the middle for A-. I think that's fair. I think A- is fair. Maybe even A. Looking at the characters in A tier, oh no, he's just so bad in 2s. He's just so bad in 2s. Yeah, A- is fair. Tokoyami, A-, B tier, A-, B tier, A-, B tier, A-. Toshiro Hitsugaya, I think that's his name. Toshiro, I think, is A tier. I think he has a very solid kit. Nothing much going on. Law is like C tier, let's be honest. If you play in his room, B tier. If you don't play in his room, C tier. Okiyora, I think A+ in 1s, in 2s A-, A down the middle. PTS Vegeta, S+ in 2s. I cannot. S. Yeah, BTS Vegeta's S tier. I cannot argue against that. His mode very, very insanely good. This is also one of the characters that hasn't fallen off S tier, kind of like Jotaro. I'd say kind of the same thing, but like reverse the argument. S+ in 2s, A+ in in 1s, so we'll meet in the middle and go S. Otherwise, it's kind of the same argument as Jotaro, but reversed, because he's S+ in 1s and A+ in 2s. So I think S is very fair for him. Majin Vegeta, I think he's A in both formats. I think you can't really make him that much better. I think his mode is very good because you can one combo off of his headbutt, which goes through your block. I think mode is S tier. Base is okay. Very M1 reliant character. In 1s, in 2s, not so much. Possible A+, but the only reason I don't play him there is because you can lose stocks very easily on him because you're forced to go in with your dash barrage, so you have to be aggressive with him. So I'll put him at A. You can't really play passive that much with him unless you run for key blitz, which is lame. I'd go. He's good. Don't get me wrong. A. I think A. Yeah, I don't think he's A-. Vegito, man, he's fallen off quite a lot. A-. Remember when this character was S tier? Vigilante Deku, I think A or A-. I mean A+. After the nerfs, I would say A, but he used to be S tier. I would say he used to be S tier. Weather report, fuck this character, man. We're far into this video, I don't think. What am I talking about? I can't even make money off the video. Weather report, this is who I ban personally. I think S tier and 2s. I mean, look, the character is a character that does not engage with you. I would put him at A+, based on the fact that a lot of characters need to engage, and he can just pop his moves, run, pop wherever he wants, run, you know. He's very obnoxious. Like, he's very annoying to fight. Yeah, I'd say A. I don't think he's like at these guys' level. The only reason I even thought is because he's so obnoxious to fight. I think this guy is S tier in 2s, no doubt about it. In 1s, I'd so far as to go in A-. his base is very lackluster. His mode is S+, especially in 2s. Yeah, I think A is fair. I don't know why this Chinese guy is in the game. Whitebeard is... Ooh, Whitebeard I think is A-, in both tiers, in both 1s and 2s. Yamamoto, I think, is A+ in both tiers, 2s and 1s. Yoruichi, I think, is a solid A tier. Her mode isn't amazing, but you can't really go that long with it, so I can't really complain about Yoruichi. Yoruichi I think is A, but if she had like flip could be an iframe, that's arguable. Yeah, I think this is fair. I think A is fair. But if I had to make an argument, I would say A+, but it's hard to argue with her placement here, because in 1s she's not amazing, she's very M1 reliant. Flash combo being hyper armor, there is a case to be made where she goes into A+, but her mode is not as amazing as all of our other contestants here, so A it is. Yoshigaki Kira I think is A+, this is who I personally main. Don't get racist, okay? I know, ooh, Arab guy plays the dude with bombs. Ooh, guys. But I think this guy is very underrated, especially with like Bites the Dust. Free HP resets for you and your teammate, and then 1s also could really like annoy the person you're going against, because if they pop mode, you waste a bit of it, pop Bites the Dust, and they don't get mode for the rest of that stock. His base is very difficult to fight against unless you have a counter. Not even hyper armor, I would say, could save you in his case. Yeah, very high damage, very annoying character to go against. A+ is very deserved for Akira, and he gets mode very fast. Itadori, A-. Oh man, I used to macro him. When Black Flash did knockback, oof. And his mode is very good. Can't really die in mode. There is an argument, yeah, I think is A, just because of his mode. Yusuke, I think is A+ in 2s. In 1s, not so great. We'll go in A. Zabuza, I think is A+. I think he's S tier in 1s. A tier in 2s. Yeah, A+ is very fair for Zabuza. Zamasu, I have no clue where I put Zamasu. Where did I put? He's a better Goku Black. Goku Black was in B tier, so we'll put him at A-. Yeah, he's a better Goku Black. Zenitsu, Zenitsu is not amazing, but he's not bad. A-. He's not that bad. He's actually not that bad, even though he doesn't have a mode. Yeah, he doesn't have a mode. I just contradicted myself. TS Zoro. No, this BTS Zoro. Yeah, A tier in both 1s and 2s. And the last character, TS Zoro, I think A-. A tier in 2s, not so great in 1s. His mode is very meh. Don't think he cracks A tier, and that is the tier list. I mean, if you guys have any arguments, go ahead, list them in the comments. And yeah, if I made any edits to the positions, I will put them on the character. But if there aren't any changes, then yeah, hopefully this tier list passes through the ABA board. But I think this is a very fair tier list. I don't think you can really argue that much against it. Maybe like character goes up a tier or down a tier, but I think no way is it two-tier differences. And hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed this 1 hour movie. But I think you guys will be able to skip to the parts that you want to watch. Enjoy. Enjoy. Goodbye.